The Fulton County case against former President Donald Trump will move forward with DA Fani Willis in the driver's seat. This is The Six. I'm Blair Miller.
And I'm Carly Barnett. Willis remains as special prosecutor Nathan Wade resigns. Wade made the announcement in a letter addressed to Willis's office, saying in part, quote, "I am offering my resignation in the interest of democracy, in dedication to the American public, and to move this case forward as quickly as possible." The move followed a ruling from Superior Court Judge Scott McAfee telling DA Willis she can stay on the case, but only if Wade stepped down. Live team coverage now to give you clarity on the case's future.
Atlanta News First Patrick Quinn is live tonight outside Wade's office in Cobb County. Patrick?
Hey, Blair, and we have not seen Nathan Wade here all day long. We have gone up to his office, but we do know that he sent that resignation letter with that letterhead from this office here in Cobb County. And DA Fani Willis, she accepted that resignation. He no longer is a special prosecutor for the DA's office. That was the only contingency holding this case against the former president from moving forward. Now it can. District Attorney Fani Willis back in the saddle after taking the stand.
You think I'm on trial? These people are on trial for trying to steal an election in 2020. I'm not on trial, no matter how hard you try to put me on trial.
As instructed by Judge Scott McAfee, DA Fani Willis can resume prosecution in the election interference case, but she now does so without Nathan Wade. In her letter accepting his resignation, DA Willis said, "Please accept my sincere gratitude on behalf of the citizens of Fulton County, Georgia, for your patriotism, courage, and dedication to justice. I wish you the best in your future endeavors." We went by Wade's private practice in Cobb County. He did not answer the door. While Judge Scott McAfee ruled he did not find a conflict of interest in the relationship between Wade and Willis, he said there was a significant appearance of impropriety. And Judge McAfee sternly added, "This finding is by no means an indication that the court condones this tremendous lapse in judgment or the unprofessional manner of the district attorney's testimony during the evidentiary hearing." Along with the former president, 18 others are also charged in this case. 4 have pleaded guilty, including Kenneth Chesbrough. His former attorney expects the defendants will appeal.
For all of the defendants in this case, I'm sure it's a sad day because it really just shows that while if they make mistakes, they might get prosecuted for it. If Fani Willis and her team make mistakes, if they lie under oath, if they show bad judgment, there's absolutely no consequences.
The ruling comes days after the judge dismissed 3 of 13 counts against Trump in the indictment. But with Willis and not Wade, the case carries on. And Wade's private practice might just pick up just a little bit more now that he's off the state's case. In his resignation letter, he said his decision was effective immediately. From Cobb County, Patrick Quinn, Atlanta News First.